Hey Z, so here you are. Here's your four shots. And so compositionally, and light quality, white balance, everything. I love all four of these images. I really do. I think these are great. However, I have to give you some feedback based on the assignment requirements. It pains me to do so because these images are just really powerful. This in particular, the composition and the angle, your angle is just fantastic on this. However, these are both portraits. This is an environmental portrait. This offers us just enough context so we have a sense of her doing something. You know, she's working on her computer. She's got some kind of probably like really interesting painting behind her. You know, she's a person of interest and she's an intellectual. You know, this is an environmental portrait. This is a straight portrait. This doesn't give us very much context about her. It's a beautiful straight portrait, but it's not an environmental portrait. This is an environmental portrait. This would qualify as a long shot, you know, because it's sort of at a distance and it's looking at a big space. So this is a long shot. I know you're using it as a still life here, but it's actually really a long shot. And then this is the long shot that you're really using. So what you're missing here is a vocational shot, a shot that talks about her vocation, and a still life. So let's go to your contact sheets and see what you had here. You know, even just these closer up shots of the books would work as still lifes. They don't have the compositional power of the other one, but they would. So these are all, you're working on environmental portrait. These are straight portrait, not really, these are somewhat environmental because she's posing a little bit, but the other one's a better environmental portrait. And then these are long shots. Okay, so you kind of missed the still life, really. That's, oh no, no, oh yeah, these are equipment shots. Hey, good job taking your lights in there and actually like forcing yourself to do that and work with that. So yeah, so you missed the still life, and just, you might not understand what a still life is. A still life is usually a kind of a close-up, intimate shot of inanimate objects, so like things that aren't moving. And they're objects that are symbolic or narrative. You know, they're symbolic and tell us a little bit about the person who is your subject. So you would have used like some things on her desk, or, you know, I don't know, something like that. Or maybe like just a small collection of books that she found of interest, or even like that painting you could have shot as a still life. So I don't want this comment to be lost, though. I want you to hear this, that these shots are all amazing. The composition, the light quality, the technique is all just fantastic in every single one of these shots. However, you are missing a still life. And you kind of have two long shots. You're sort of missing a shot that talks about her vocation. As far as a shot that talks about her vocation, what we would have been looking for maybe is you know, let's see, back here, like even here, you know, like a long shot of her whole desk, she's at work or something, or maybe she is putting books away in here, or she's setting up something in the conference room, you know, something like that. But I mean, I get it that maybe these didn't get across to you. So mostly what I want to tell you is that your technique here is fantastic. And then in a photo story, what we want is we want to be able to go through the images, the four images in this case, without any backstory and have a sense of what's going on. So let's see if we can do that. Library. That's the library. See, that all of a sudden doesn't fit because we're kind of like, the next image is like a big close-up facial portrait of somebody. However, if we went straight to this, we would think, oh, this might be the librarian who would greet me. So that makes sense. Environmental portrait, that makes sense. And then here we are, you know, inside the library looking at the book. So we'll call this a still life, so that makes sense. So you can kind of see how this one doesn't really fit the story. This is much more of a classic, you know, headshot. It's not really telling us a story. But this one, just with a little bit of extra stuff going on in there, does. Does that make sense? Okay. Fantastic technique here, and also like, hey, kudos to you for like coming up with this photo shoot in just a few minutes and actually executing it to a high level of technical quality. You know, the only thing that you're lacking are some very specific assignment requirements that you might not necessarily have if you were just on a shoot for yourself or for a client. You might not have such specific requirements. They might really just want something that's executed technically, you know, to a high level of technical proficiency, which you've done. You've only missed one little requirement. So actually, like, great job doing that in a short period of time under a lot of pressure, getting stopped by the police. I mean, really, you really pulled a lot off here. So great job, Z. Thank you.